Hello there, it's Megan Andrew with you today, and I am so excited to be here to introduce the brand new August Club Kits from Spellbinders. If you've never been a Club Kit subscriber before, all of the products that I'm going to show you today will be available to start a new subscription on August 6th. Be sure to check out the club FAQs and terms and conditions on the Spellbinders website so that you can get all of the information about starting a new club and canceling your subscription. You can find the link to every club kit that I'm sharing in the video description below, so click the More button to expand that list. I'm also going to show you some other products that I used alongside the club kits to create my cards today. Let's start off with the die of the month. Now, this is not the large die, but you can see here that you get a ton of dies in this set. Now, you have two little friends who are divers, who are diving under the ocean. They have their masks on, there's their tubes. You have several parts to create layers for their goggles, which is really cool. You have their floating hair, their little suits here, their flippers in their hands. Then you have the fish that are swimming around them and the sea life at the bottom of the ocean. So the coral and the plants here. This is such a cool set, and I had so much fun creating my card this month with this one. I really focused on setting a scene for this one. Take a look at these guys. Isn't that so fun? And really, after you get the die cuts put together, it's really simple to just create a little scene. I did a little bit of ink blending on a light blue background, added the frame to kind of frame the whole scene, stamped the sentiment with the stamp, and then cut it using the die of the month. But I just love this one. It's just so fun. Take a look at those details. And can you see here how thick the layers are? So their goggles are like 3 layers deep. The fish are 2 layers deep. This here is 3 layers deep. There are just so many amazing details to look at in this die set. So that is the Deep Blue 2. That is the die of the month. Now, if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that my favorite ever arch die is this one. It's the Essential Arches cutting dies. I use it all of the time, and when I'm creating a scene, I love to add an arch just because it makes everything look very picturesque inside of that arch. So if you don't have this one on hand, I highly recommend picking this one up. It is an essential. Next, let's move on to the large die of the month. This one is called Splash Tails. Now take a look at all of these dies that you get in this set. A huge amount of dies, and you can create several different scenes with this one. So on this die set, you have a plastic bag with a little goldfish. All of these go together, so it looks like he's just coming home from the fair or the pet store or wherever you got him. You have a sentiment here that says make a splash. There are bubbles. This is the top of the water line for your bag, and this is the bottom of the bag here. Then you also have some elements where you can create a scene as if you are in a fish tank. So there's a little castle here, there are some plants here, the rocks here, and then you have the mermaid. So the mermaid's body, her tail, her flowing hair, the seashell with the pearl, and her bikini is here. So her cheeks are here too. It's so cute. But so you can create like 3 different scenes with this set. And I did create a couple of cards using this one this month, and I'll be sharing them throughout the video. But the one that I created that highlights this just perfectly is a shaker. So here I did the fish in the plastic bag. So our little goldfish is getting ready to go home. And I did this as an inlay shaker so that it's not popped up, it's popped on the inside of the card. And I put the fish on the outside so that he wouldn't hinder any of the shaking action there. My cute little bag is in teal with a red tie. And then I added these little greenery pieces to the corners because I thought that that would make a really great accent. It is a simple card, but I think the colors look really great and it's just a fun one to look at. So that one highlights the large die of the month, which is called Splash Tails. And I'll be sharing more of these dies along with the other clubs later in the video. Okay, let's talk about the Deluxe Koodleoodle bonus because this month it works with the large die of the month. So the Deluxe Koodleoodle bonus this month is this set of 5 dies that you see down here at the bottom. And it is called Fish Friends. Now you may be asking, what is the Deluxe Koodleoodle bonus? Well, if you love all of the clubs that you're going to see in this video, you'll want to sign up for the Deluxe Koodleoodle bonus because you get a huge discount off the MSRP, and it means that you subscribe to all the clubs at once. So you get the entire package that I'm sharing with you today to mix and match and create with, just like I did. I really think the Deluxe Koodleoodle bonus is such an amazing value for the amount of product you get, and getting a bonus just sweetens the deal. So this is a cute little clownfish and his little buddy, and I used it alongside with the large die of the month to create this little scene. Now I did use the Glimmer of the month on the outside, so I'll be sharing that on another card in just a few minutes. And I added a frame. I really love framing things, as I've already said. And on this one, I used the Mirrored Arch Labels die. This is another one of those essential die sets that I love to have on hand to create a scene. And I just think this turned out so cute. Again, I use the stamp and die of the month to add my sentiment, created a little sandy area down here, ink blended the background and then spritzed it with water to give it that watery effect, added my plants behind and above that pop out and a few rocks. And then we have our 2 little friends there hanging out in the tank. And I think that sentiment is just perfect for this Deluxe Koodleoodle set. So I hope you enjoy this one, and you'll check out the Deluxe Koodleoodle option for the best value when you're getting all these amazing clubs. So the last standalone die set that I want to share with you is the stitching die of the month, and it's called Handfolded Stitch. So that is this piece and everything above on this magnetic backer. If you ever made paper boats, then you'll recognize this one. You have a paper boat and then the stitched pieces to add onto it. Now you can opt to add the stitching piece to the middle or not. So you have that option to stitch or not to stitch. You have your sail and your flag. There are 3 sentiments: hand-folded hugs, drift and dream, and folded with love. Then you have a banner for both sides. Well, actually this layers so that you have 2 different colors, and there's your mast. You also have a star and a heart. And the waves, which I really liked having that as well. So here is my stitching die of the month card. This one was really fun to put together, and I think it is really effective. So I added 2 different wavy lines. I put them on a backer of white cardstock that I had ink blended, and then I cut both of those out using the Essential Modern Ovals. I really love the shape of this with this paper boat, and I love how it extends past the top. I then took some ink and splattered it and sprayed it so that it looked a little bit watery, and then added my paper boat on top. I stitched that with some yellow DMC floss, added my double banner there, so these layer on top of each other so that you get two different colors, and I kept those colors for the sail and the flag as well. I used the sentiment hand folded hugs. I put all this on a piece of paper that was embossed using the embossing folder of the month, which I'm also going to share with you a little bit later. So that added a little bit of texture and interest to the background. But this is just a really fun card. If you enjoy stitching on paper, it's a really cute one to create, and I love the effect that it gives you with the waves and how it layers all together. It's a really dimensional card. So you can find that same paper boat motif in this month's Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club. This one's called Paper Splash. So you have your paper boat here, just like the stitching die of the month. Then you also have a bottle with a paper boat inside, which I thought was really cool. Your sentiments here are "It's okay to float a while," "Made by hand, meant for you," "May your day go swimmingly," which I really like, "See you soon, beautiful soul," spelled soul like the fish, "Let your story unfold," "Sending joy on paper sails," "Float boldly into a new year," "Make a splash at your day," "Sending a splash of happy," "We are in this together." So then you have the dies to cut out the bottle, the paper boat, and your long sentiments and your double layer sentiments. So I kept this one really simple because I just wanted to highlight that stamp. I stamped the bottle using an alcohol friendly marker. Then I colored that with my Olo markers, and I'll be sure to share the colors that I used to color this in the video description, so be sure to check that out if you have Olos as well and want to recreate what I did here. But it's really pretty. I just did a teal bottle with the blue waves and a light brown paper boat. I put this on a backer because I thought it needed something to sit behind it, of those mirrored arch labels, which I ink blended to give it a little bit of a distressed look. And then I put that on a piece of blue cardstock, which I stamped with blue ink using that paper boat. So I really thought this was a fun card to create, really easy card to create, one that you could easily mass produce, and it's a great masculine card too. The better press of the month this month is called Fish Parade, which I think is really fun. You can see here that you have a circular better press plate with all of your fish in that circle. What you also get is this piece of transparency. This is your registration, and it allows you to make sure that this is nice and straight and lined up. Then it also has a line here for your sentiment, so you can make sure that your sentiment is nice and straight with this nice and straight at the top, which I really appreciate. So along with your press plate, you have 3 different sentiments. They are "Even little fish make big waves," "A little note from the whole group," which I love, "Together is a good place to be." And then you have your dies to cut out those sentiments too. So I had so much fun with this one, and I started out with just a better press card. I inked up using brand new Dina Wakley Better Press inks, and they're bright and beautiful and fun. So I'll be sure to link those in the video description. They are amazing, and I thought that this would be the perfect set for me to break those in. Take a look at that. And I literally just went from pink, then I did my orange, then I did my my green, my peridot, and then my turquoise there. I used the Even Little Fish Make Big Waves sentiment on that one. And you know that I had to try to glimmer this one, and I'm so glad that I did. I used the Rainbow Glimmer foil to glimmer this one, and then I used my circle dies, which is another essential die set that I highly recommend that you grab, and I will link it below, to just die cut that entire circle out. I wanted to put that on a dark background to give it a bit of drama. I used the Together is a Good Place to Be sentiment, and I foiled that as well using a remnant of that rainbow. I also grabbed this. These are my new favorite Color Essentials gems because they're so beautiful. These ones are Prism AB, and they are this gorgeous blue, and they look great on navy blue cardstock. I use a lot of those Color Essentials gems, so I'll be sure to link those in the video description. But how fun is this one? I love Better Press so much. I love having the ability to foil it if I want to. And I just think this is a really, really fun card, and it's so easy to create. Okay, let's move on to the Glimmer of the Month. This one is called Beneath the Bubbles, and as you can see, lots of bubbles on here, and you can make some really beautiful shiny bubbles with this one. In addition to your A2 plate, you have two sentiments: popping by to say hi and hope your day shimmers, along with dies to cut those out. So I had to go back to my large die of the month to put this one together. Take a look at this one. That little mermaid was just calling for this shimmery, gorgeous background. I used silver foil for this one on ColorWheel cardstock, and I just think that it looks gorgeous. I foiled the Hope Your Day Shimmer sentiment there, and then added the flower, the shell, and the mermaid from the large die of the month. I used, again, that mirrored arched labels here. And I also used one of my favorite new products. This is the Treasured Cardstock, the Antique White edition. So that has, it's really hard to tell in the camera, but that white has a lot of shimmer to it. So this card is really shining and shimmering. And if you remember, I used the offcut of this one to create this card that kind of looks like you're looking into a tank. So whenever you cut one of these pieces, make sure you're thinking about how you can use those remnants too. So this is the Glimmer of the Month. I really think that this one is super gorgeous. On this one, you can only glimmer it, you can only foil it. It's not like the Better Press that does double duty, but I think that if you love these fish, and especially this mermaid, you'll want to pick up this Glimmer of the Month. Okay, the stencil of the month this month is called Underwater Bloom, and all 5 of these stencils work together to create a really amazing, amazing background. This may be my favorite club this month, and I was kind of surprised that it was, but every time I added another layer, I was just shocked at how beautiful it was. So here you have different elements that go under the sea. So you have your kelp and your bubbles and your little dots and your little starfish floating. It is the prettiest thing. I can't wait to share this card with you. I really went to town on this one. I did a lot of masking to make sure that I could color things differently. So I used a lot of kind of tropical colors here, very bright and bold colors. And I also used glitter paste. I will be sure to link the colors that I used in my video description so that you guys know what combination this is, but look at how that glitter paste sparkles and shines there. I used the clear stamp and die of the month to add the sentiment, may your day go swimmingly, and then I used that large die of the month to add my cute little goldfish there, and he's just having a ball in his little tropical underwater scene. Lastly, I added a few of the aquamarine color essentials gems to add a little bit extra sparkle in those dots at the top. I really think the stencil would be gorgeous with so many different color combinations, and I can't wait to try it out on another one. I love this one. The embossing folder of the month is called Coral Impression, and take a look at that one. It's really fun. It's very artistic coral. It just creates a really lovely pattern. And I already shared it with my stitching die of the month, but I also created another card using it along with the wax seal of the month. So I created that gorgeous turquoise background and topped it with the wax seal of the month. Now, this wax seal is a mermaid's tail. It is so beautiful. It is called Mermaid Tails, T-A-L-E-S. I used some turquoise wax beads for this one, along with some gold in there too, to create that mottled effect. But I just really think that it works beautifully with a few of the greenery and flowers from the large die of the month, along with this wax seal and that gorgeous patterned background. How pretty is that? The last club that I have to share with you is the 3D embossing folder of the month. This one is called Underwater Waltz, and you can see here lots of fish on here with those wavy lines. I actually added some white pigment ink to mine so that you could see that pattern a bit better. And I used it along with the die of the month to create a sweet little scene with a lot of texture. These fish really pop out at you. Look at that texture that you get from this 3D embossing folder of the month. I love that. I created almost a little tiny aquarium here using an arch die. So I actually cut that arch from the Essential Modern Ovals because I wanted it to be nice and narrow. And then I just cut it off and used the water topper from the large die of the month to create that sandy, kind of sandy sea bottom area. Added a few rocks, some coral and some kelp here, added the fish to the top. So I just think it's a cute little detail, but it still highlights all of that texture along the outside using that 3D embossing folder of the month. Thank you so much for joining me as I shared the August 2025 club kits from Spellbinders. I really had fun creating these cards and I hope it showed. They're bright and they're colorful. There's masculine cards and there's girly cards, and there's just something for everyone in this month's club kits. If you've never subscribed before, I highly encourage you to try it out. It's cancelable before the first of the following month. So if you decide next month's budget isn't there, you just have to cancel before the first. And they're just so fun to receive in the mail and just create with. You can mix and match them with your other products in your stash too, and just have fun. If you decide you want to sign up for a club, please check out the links in the video descriptions below and take a look there for those other essential dies that I shared in this video. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment letting me know which club is your favorite this month, and be sure to subscribe so that you'll see next month's club kit video. Thanks so much for watching, friends, and happy creating.